Hey, this is Billy Mira, and you are watching The Kate Fox Show.
You're watching The Kate Fox Show. I'm Kate Fox, and we are here at the Paramount in Huntington, and I'm speaking with Adam Ellis. And Adam, we've spoken to before, but we want to circle back a little bit and talk about what they are doing, because of all of the venues in this area. They're the most proactive in bobbing and weaving, if you will, with what we're dealing with right now. And I want to say thank you for talking to us.
Thank you.
And Adam, we last spoke, when we last spoke, you did not have the eatery Ellis. And so I have been to Ellis a couple of times now. And tell us about it, because I'm not going to describe it properly, though I will say it's delicious. And tell us what Ellis brings to this complex, if you will, and why we went for that as well.
No, definitely. It's a great new spot in town to eat. They specialize in wood-fired pizza, but they also have a lot of other great entrees and appetizers and dishes.
And cocktails.
Yes, and cocktails, in conjunction with the gentleman who owned Old Fields Barbecue in Green Lawn and Huntington. So this is their concept that they are now part of our team, and they've created this new spot after a pop-up that they did in Green Lawn last year, and so far it's been very well received by everybody.
Let me tell you, it's so nice. And when we first came here, when we first went to Ellis, I will say, we looked at the menu for a minute and said, that's different. And then we sat down and ordered, and oh my God, the menu choices are so, they are eclectic, but they're so diverse from what you present at, say, the Spotlight and the Founders Room, and it's delicious.
No, it is excellent, and that was the idea, was to have something different, so we weren't competing against each other, and each location had its own cuisine.
It really, well, usually I'll go from one place to the other when I'm here, but it's been, I'm assuming, quite beneficial.
Well, again,
To a
because
point.
we weren't able to have concerts and focus on what we normally do, so this gave us an opportunity to dig our heels in and do some other projects and come up with some other ideas and go in another direction, because we got to keep busy and we got to keep moving and we got to make revenue. And so this was an opportunity that the owners had, that they've been kicking around for quite some time, and now it's happened.
And now you took over a space that had been previously occupied by another restaurant, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
And it's funny, when we first came here, I could not remember what had been there before. So we're trying to figure out, is it part of the box office? Is it part of this? Is it part of that? But you took over a space that was occupied by another restaurant, basically.
Yeah, it had closed down about a year or so ago, and it right adjacent to our venue. So,
Yes.
The owners obviously had interest in acquiring that property, and it worked out.
It worked out really well, I hope. I think, but I hope in the grand scheme
So
of
far,
things.
so good. We once we get back to having concerts again, and we have 1,500 people in the venue, when we can capture those folks before show and after the show, then we'll really be humming.
Oh yeah, I mean, and what a perfect spot, because if it's Spotlight is a little more casual, I think.
Certainly.
And so I think you have now, and of course the Founders Room is and we are in the Founders Room right now, which is a lovely place as well. And the Founders Room is your members only place, but now you also have casual as well as a little more upscale, so you can sort of hit every demographic that might come to this venue.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it was something that we always wanted to be able to do. There's obviously a lot of great restaurants in Huntington, and when we have the sold out show, I think they all benefit, but at the same time, we wanted to have some spaces of our own for people to congregate pre-show and post-show. So now, once we're ready to return to normal, we'll have that ready to go.
Absolutely. And now, on the thought of returning to normal, I want to take one quick break, and we'll be right back.
Give me a shot, a journey, honey. a shot of you. Give me a shot of Jack Honey. Give me a shot of you. Will it be all? Will it be all that we get to do? Got the money at all, Mr. International, almost perfect too. So give me a shot of Jack Honey, honey. Give me a shot of you. Give me a shot of Jack Honey, honey. Give me a shot of you. You're not a cowboy, but if you will, Billy the Kid. You're not an outlaw, but if you want, be a pistol switch. Ooh, give me a shot of Jack Honey, honey. Give me a shot of you. Give me a shot of Jack Honey, honey. Give me a shot of you. Give me a shot of you. Give me a shot of you.
Hey, I'm Rob Rush, and you are watching The Kate Fox Show, for those that are in the know.
And we're back. And something we were talking about on the break is the fact that besides, the three different food concepts, venue concepts, whatever, of the places you have going now, that you're permitted to do so, you have some phenomenal art. Well, actually, you have phenomenal art in every of your spaces, every one of your spaces. But now, who did the art for Ellis?
That's Dave Tunney, who is in charge of the restaurant. That's all his design. It's very rock and roll themed.
It is.
Lots of big murals of Jimi Hendrix and Jerry Garcia, and a lot of the food items are named after, rock albums and things like that. So there's a lot of music theme infused to it. And then at Spotlight, we finished our quarantine art exhibit that we had been running since we reopened, which was basically showcasing the artwork that people had made in quarantine.
Mm-hmm.
And now we've moved to a different exhibit called Colors, which we just launched in the last few weeks. And that's something that we'll carry through to the new year until at some point, we will look at a different exhibit.
And I will tell you, I looked at the art in Spotlight today, and I was taken aback by, you have such a diverse collection that, and it's so different from what you had before. It's just, you have something, you have movement. You have constant movement in your place.
Yeah, and it's all local, made by local artists, so it just goes to show how many talented people there are on Long Island.
Absolutely. And I'm sidetracking myself because I want to talk about your holiday market, because you are, besides trying to support your venue, you're supporting the community. But you recently partnered with Donna Drake, who is a local media person, celebrity, to do some other stuff.
Yeah, she came to us with a concept because she had been doing some art-related projects as well, so it just fit in nicely. So she came in and helped us to bring in some judges from the Museum of Modern Art and some other art institutions, so we could have a real kind of contest to see who had the best art, and she offered the winner of that contest the chance to be on her show. So that was a nice prize, and that kind of ended that exhibit for us. And so, anything that we can do again to, stay busy and come up with some new concepts to get people engaged and excited in art and music and food is kind of what we're here for.
I didn't realize that the depth of what she had done with you guys.
Yeah, no, it was really great to have her come on board, and I think we're just happy to have some programs out there that are interesting to people, and it's just free. Come enjoy and check it out, and while you're here eating and drinking at Spotlight, you can check out the artwork, and it's something that we will continue to do.
That's wonderful. That's absolutely wonderful. And now you have at the Founders Room, you have music how many nights a week?
Just Wednesday through Saturday right now.
Okay, and which is quite reasonable considering everything that's going on. And you have Chelsea Takami doing a residency here on Sundays at the Spotlight. Do you have other music at Spotlight as well, or are you?
Spotlight's every night of the week except for Monday. Tuesday we've been working on some youth acts, some high school aged bands to try and get a youth series going. And so it's 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock every night of the week, and then Sundays with Chelsea is 3 o'clock to 6 o'clock, and then Monday is just Monday Night Football.
Well, which is, hey, that's great.
Yeah.
Are you ready for I can't even talk right now. Are you ready for some football?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize you were doing stuff with the youth here.
Yeah, well, we had done some auditions over the summer with 6 or so different bands that would each get about 20 minutes to perform a few songs to kind of just see if we could cultivate some talent. And I think that we had so many younger acts come out, School of Rock type, ages, and so it just made sense to try and do a separate series just for that, because it's a different age range, and it's really more targeting their friends and their family and their parents, and to get them and see if they're good enough maybe one day when we open back upstairs on the main stage. We always have the opportunity on a lot of shows to get a local opener to open up for somebody, so now we have a wider array of talent to choose from.
That's fantastic, because it doesn't just benefit you. And again, and we're going to go to the holiday spectacular you have tomorrow. But what you're doing is not only are you trying to promote and keep going with this venue and what you have, what you're capable of doing, you continue to promote the community. And now you're promoting the youth in the community, which is huge. And I had no idea. I honestly had, and I follow you.
Yeah, I mean, I think again, there's a lot of things that we've just come up with at the last minute and tried some stuff, now and again through Spotlight, social media, or through Ellis, or through the town, or through the chamber, but the strength of everything is through the Paramount, so that's a little more selective on where we use that brand.
Well, you have to be, because the Paramount is known internationally, really. So you have to sort of straddle the line of supporting everyone around you, but you still have to be, I don't even have the word, you still have to be accessible, or that's not the right word, to the international community.
Well, I mean, it gives us something for them to strive for. It's kind of the carrot that we hang out there and say we're going to start small with, having you at Spotlight, or having you do some stuff with us in town, and then eventually maybe, we'll take it to the next level and do some stuff with the Paramount.
Wow, that's fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic.
Thank you.
And I want to take one more break, and then we're going to talk about what you're starting. It's going to start tomorrow, and we'll see what happened. And actually, this is going to air after tomorrow, but the whole genesis of what you've got going on, I want to talk about and let people know what to expect while we're in this time. We'll be right back.
feeling. But everybody falls apart. But the ending's just the start. Hidden last great pain, you never be yourself. You'll be smarter than before. Alive again once more. Just like a phoenix. Set up in the joy. I'm recording what I want to go. Another fear, just the spark. For my undying heart. Just like a phoenix. I got the spirit of a phoenix, that means I can tell you from rising from the flames, from a new set of wings and flying away. At the end of the day, I'm right. I got the spirit of a phoenix, that means I can keep me from rising from the flames, from a new set of wings and flying away. At the end of the day, I'm right. Just like a phoenix.
And we are back again. And what I wanted to talk to you about is something that you are just starting tomorrow night. And it is the holiday market. And you have, I think you said 8 vendors who local, we should say local, support your stages, support local businesses. We have 8 local vendors who are going to be here tomorrow. And how did that come about, and what do you anticipate to come from it?
We just wanted to try and come up with some programs for our Monday nights, which were a little bit slower, and we had a lot of people expressing interest in a farmers market type setup where folks who, make local crafts or make local foods or, any of similar farmers market type stuff. So we, we'll set up that look and feel in the back in the art gallery with some tables and some booths and some vendors that people can come from 5 o'clock to 9 o'clock and just peruse and hopefully pick up a couple of Christmas gifts from some local vendors that we want to help support.
That's really great because, and again, not only are you bringing people here, you're supporting local businesses, local people, local vendors. So it's a very complementary partnership.
Yeah, no, I think it makes us feel good, and again, we have the time to do it now. So, these are all things that we'll try and see, and if they stick, then we'll continue to do it. Hopefully this is a every Monday thing, and we can grow it within the context of the space that we have to try and put something together. And, we're doing stuff with the town and the chamber, wherever we can to, get them involved and on board too. So I think, wherever we can help, is kind of what we're looking to do right now.
And let me tell you, I have noticed as I see the things that either you personally or the Paramount or one of its entities puts things out there on social media, you are working with the local town, with the local people nonstop.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of good organizations in Huntington. Each one has a bit of a different goal, but I think we try to be the center and the hub for those activities where we can, and consequently, try and support them and really bring people from outside of Huntington into Huntington from all over Long Island, and let them know that this is a great place to spend your time and spend your money, and there's a lot of things to do, and great food and great art and great music, and I think it's good for everybody.
Well, I agree, because I come here, I don't just come here to sit and talk with you on camera. I come with my friends, my colleagues frequently because we enjoy being here. And we want to support you, but we also enjoy ourselves, because if we wanted to just support you and we didn't have a good time, we wouldn't be here quite so often.
Well, I think that's what the pandemic taught everybody in town is once we had to shut down, and then all the other restaurants in town, I'm sure saw their business drop significantly because we were bringing 250,000 people into Huntington every year, and now, it's gone. So I think, everyone's suffering, everyone's hurting, and so whatever we can do to help out, and just kind of, wait for it to come back to normal.
Absolutely. And now, do you have, all right, we're going to say you can pick either one, hopes or plans for the future? Do you have sort of a target date, or are you just sort of winging it?
No, we're still in the hope part of it. We're not in the planning part of it yet. There's definitely a light at the end of the tunnel, but whether that means that we can start doing shows in the spring or the summer or the fall or the winter is still to be determined. I think there's a lot of questions that have to be answered, and I think it'll be local, regional and state governments telling us what we can and can't do and when we can and can't do it. So, I'm sure different areas will be able to go back to normal sooner than others, is what it sounds like. So all we can do is just keep waiting until they tell us what the rules are going to be at that time.
Yeah, and I think we're all in the same boat, whether personally, professionally, whatever. And I have to tell you, and I've said this to you, I probably said this 20 times already tonight, I'm so impressed with how you're handling it, with how you're juggling every single thing that has come your way. And you're one of the hardest working people I know, quite frankly.
Well, I hope I remember how to promote a concert when we get back to doing
I
concerts.
have a
because
feeling
it's been
you're
so
gonna...
long. It'll be like riding a bike for the first time for everybody, because I think sound, production, lights, all the bartenders, everybody, it's almost, forgot what we did, and we'll have to start over and remember how we did what we did because it's been so long. But, hopefully we'll get there sooner rather than later.
I hope so too. And I have to say though, if anything that we've encountered prior to this whole craziness, anything we have encountered here during this craziness, I have only seen positive things. I have only seen productive things, and I wouldn't be here if I wasn't appreciative of what you do and a fan of what you do. And quite frankly, if it wasn't a nice place to be, or you didn't have good food, we wouldn't be here anyway. So, I mean, you're killing it as best you can, and we're going to keep following you, obviously, and I wish you much success tomorrow.
Thank you.
And much success going forward in that, and thank you for talking to me.
Anytime.
Adam Ellis.